Prior appearances for the township. Have a seat, make yourself comfortable. All right, so Mr. Crucell, you filed a number of motions. I'm going to let you pick which one you want to deal with first.
Well, this emergency motion stay needs to address the request for the judicial license and the process violation.
Okay, just hold off with the argument. Hold off with the argument. The question was, what do you want to start with? Okay, so you filed something Friday. I took a quick look at it today. Is that any different than the motion to stay that you filed previously?
This is just bringing the fact that all the motions I have filed.
Is that a yes or no, Mr. Crucell?
Well, it's covering all the judicial license.
Okay, listen to my question. Is it any different than the last motion to stay proceedings you filed? Okay, just give me what you've added since the last one, because this one I haven't had a chance to read fully. The first one I read fully.
I just have the same issue telling you didn't give a shit about what I had to say.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Crucell, this is going to be a very long day for you if you don't listen to my questions and answer my questions. That was in the original motion to stay proceedings. I've asked you to give me whatever's new in this motion.
New stuff covers just Gene Green telling me to sue the Secretary of State rather than addressing the due process violations in my case.
Okay, stop right there. How does that lead to why this should be stopped today?
All of this is stemming from where all of this should have been stopped a while ago.
That's not the way it works. Mr. Crucell, hold on. Okay. That's the last time you're going to interrupt me today without a contempt of court charge. Is that clear?
Your Honor.
Is that clear?
Constitution against me this entire time. No one has made her answer.
One more word, and it's contempt of court. It's $100 a contempt, and if I get totally fed up with it, then I'm putting you in jail.
You can already tell the judge has seen this kind of defendant before, the type who thinks YouTube law school makes them untouchable. Notice how the judge stays patient but firm. He's letting the rope play out, waiting for that one line that'll flip the courtroom energy. And trust me, it's coming. This is what separates real judges from internet myths: authority, composure, and precision.
Okay? Just because she and I happen to agree on the law as it applies to your case doesn't mean we're in collusion. It's possible that you're wrong. At least accept the possibility that she and I have the same opinion about something. That doesn't mean we're colluding. You understand that concept? Do you understand that concept?
You're supposed to be impartial.
I am impartial. I've been trying to save you. Just because I agree with the prosecutor doesn't mean I'm against you. It just means I agree with the prosecutor.
So it means if you're agreeing with that, definitely means that you guys are lying against us.
So that means in any case, when I buy the arguments from one side, that means I'm colluding against the other.
You're agreeing.
Yes or no, Mr. Crucell? No, you have to answer my question. Contempt number one, $100. Answer my question. Every time I rule in favor of one side, does that mean I'm colluding against the other? Yes or no? $200. Yes or no? Because I can do this all damn day. And when I get tired of this game, then I tell them to put you in custody because it's contempt of court, criminal contempt any argument you make from there, I'm going to deny because that's an unreasonable position you're taking.
And there it is. The classic line, "I do not consent to these proceedings." Every time someone says that, you know we're about to witness a legal reality check. Watch how the judge doesn't even flinch, just calmly explains jurisdiction while the defendant digs his own hole. It's not anger, it's experience. Judges hear this nonsense weekly. What you're watching right now is patience turning into quiet destruction.
Judges, by definition, have to decide in favor of one party or the other. That's what we do.
When you made that statement, you were making...
What statement is that?
It was
I thought we were talking about Judge Green's SOS statement.
When you made the statement that you were setting aside my regular trial, saying that you're saying that the prosecutor, the township, and his court all see things the same way, setting it outside, not even allowing me to make my argument. So you were aligning yourself with the prosecution on the argument of my point and setting it aside on what you were doing.
Mr. Crucell, what I was doing was aligning myself with the law as I see it and interpret it. Stop. You can't just shake your head. You don't just disagree with me and move on. If you don't like a ruling from a judge, you have to appeal that ruling. You don't keep arguing with the ruling. That's not the way the process works. Listen, brother, listen. I have tried to save you from yourself. If you remember the first time you were in my courtroom, I tried to get you to see things the way the process was going to move forward. Because, dude, this process is going forward the way I want it to move forward. You might not like that, but I'm in charge of the courtroom. And at the end of the day, if you don't like anything I do, you can appeal me. That's why they have circuit courts. But I'm not going to let you make this a dog and pony show, especially when we've got jurors here.
Dog and pony show. This court has failed to let me make any of my statements, any of my cases. You even were trying to threaten me with contempt anytime I tried.
I am threatening you with contempt.
My objections on the record. You make my case. So you're
No, because third contempt. Do not interrupt me. When I said your objections don't mean shit to me is because you were using the word objection inappropriately. You objected every time I disagreed with you. If you have an objection, you have to have a legal basis for the objection. For example, she's trying to put a video into evidence and you say,
By this point, the judge's tone has shifted. He's not just addressing the defendant, he's teaching him. Listen carefully. He's giving multiple chances to stop, reset, and behave. But the defendant refuses. This is the moment every viewer knows the storm is coming. The calm before the gavel drops.
object, Judge. She hasn't laid a proper foundation because all she said is, Judge, I've got a video. I'd like to play it for the jury. That's a proper legal objection. When I rule in her favor and you say I object and I say, what's your objection? And you just disagree with me, that's not a legal objection. That's why I said your objections mean shit to me, because you're not using the word appropriately. Because you don't know what you're doing. That's what I tried to tell you originally the first time you were here. You've never been to law school. You've never tried a case. You don't know the rules of evidence and all the other things that have to be in play to have a trial go forward appropriately, properly, and to be perfectly honest,
You're trying to spin this here.
I'm not spinning.
Based on you not allowing me to do it. And that's when you told me my question.
Okay. All right. So let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. What motion would you like to address first? The motion to postpone? Denied. I'm not denying the jury trial.
Especially with the jurisdiction, she's never once admitted on the why it's on the prosecutor to prove those things. There's false words and irregularities.
All right, let me stop you for a minute. What do you mean you're not going to proceed? You're here.
Everything that's taking place now shows exactly that there is enough to show. You need to show.
Once again, you're not answering the question I asked. You just said you will not participate, and I asked, what do you mean by that? I'm not asking you to explain your reasoning. I want to know, what does that mean? I'm not going to proceed with this. You're here. So when I impanel the jury, what? You're just going to sit there and not going to talk? What?
Okay, this is the point where things get spicy. The defendant starts raising his voice, trying to control the courtroom, and the judge instantly flips the script. "You're in my courtroom," he says, and you can feel the authority flood the room. That phrase carries power. It's the legal equivalent of checkmate. Every viewer can sense what's about to happen next.
What does it mean when you say you're not going to participate?
And go through until these things get addressed. All of my issues that have been ignored this entire time, especially excluding people.
Once again, if you accept the motion and I deny it, it's been addressed. You might not like the way it's been addressed, but then you have to appeal it.
That's the whole point of me being able to get all my objections.
All right, what's your objection? What's your objection to me denying your motion to postpone this trial at the last minute?
Statement I'd like to put on record that if whatever you would like to do from there, you can, because I'm open until these things. Like I say,
Hold on. Is this statement preceding all these motions you filed? Okay, then let me make my ruling on all of them. I think there was a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, correct? Okay. Would you like to respond to that one? Because I think that's already been addressed.
Speaker, please arrested Mr. Crusoe while he was in Huron Township, but if a district court has jurisdiction over offenses that occur within the township, both civil and criminal and civil.
Did you appeal Judge Green's decision on that motion?
I'm investigating because I've been in contact with the appeals.
Okay, so there's no appeal filed yet, correct?
Getting all involved.
I'll take that as a yes. There's no appeal filed. That motion is denied then. She made the ruling. You don't get to ask me to make the same ruling. Once again, don't interrupt me because I can go to 4 real quick. Judge Green, a judge in this court, ruled on that exact motion and denied your motion. That motion has not yet been appealed, and it certainly doesn't get appealed to me. Is that clear?
Yes.
Thank you. Next motion. Motion to
The judge can't just.
Boom. This is the line that makes courtroom fans replay the clip a dozen times. The judge officially calls out the behavior, citing contempt, and the entire tone changes. No more games. This is where respect for the court stops being optional. You can almost hear the audience at home cheering. It's justice in real time.
listen to me. Then appeal her to circuit court. A judge made a ruling. You don't get to keep arguing that same motion.
All she said was that Judge Martin was setting aside and that I should go sue the Secretary of State. The things that she's claiming and saying were never said to me. And I have all the recordings and they're submitted to the court. These things were never said to me. And then she comes here and makes these accusations and saying that the judge said this, judge said that.
Fine. Then I'll say the same. I'll say the same thing to you. Listen to me. Here, on your motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, denied. By me, you can appeal me. Because the reason she stated, the Township of Huron issued you a citation. This court has jurisdiction over citations issued by the Township of Huron. So for that reason, I'm prepared to move forward and adjudicate that citation. Is that clear enough so you can appeal my decision?
Fine.
Okay. Next one up is motion to reconsider for bias and judicial misconduct. Denied. Would you like me to clarify that in any way?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Then guess what? The Court of Appeals can overturn me because I'm not biased to you. You might not like the way I talk to you. You might not like the things I say to you, but I'm not biased against you. Believe it or not, brother, I would like to save you from what's going to happen today. I really would. Because here's my dude, let me talk. You have turned what should be a fairly minor misdemeanor and civil infraction situation into a huge mess. I don't think it's going to end well for you. I tried to save you from that the first day you were here when I tried to convince you to have some conversation with a court-appointed attorney.
Quick question for everyone watching. If you were the judge here, would you have cut this guy off earlier? Drop your thoughts below, because personally, I think the judge showed next-level restraint. Most of us would have hit that contempt button way sooner. But his discipline? Legendary. That's why he wears the robe, and we just watch in awe.
And you didn't want to do all that. I know in my heart of hearts, I have no ill feeling towards you whatsoever. And I'm going to give you the best trial I can give you today if you decide to participate. But I am not going to let you drag things in front of this jury that I determine are not relevant because that's my job as the gatekeeper after the judge over the trial. I'm not going to let you get into a bunch of arguments that I think are just going to cloud issues if I don't think they're relevant. That's my job as the judge, not because I don't like Mr. Crucell. It's because my job as a judge is to run this trial efficiently and effectively. And I'm going to do that. And if I do that, I anticipate I'm going to step all over your toes and your beliefs. But that doesn't mean I don't like you or I have bias against you. So I am denying your motion to recuse myself. Anything else you want to put on the record so you can appeal that decision? Once again, stop. That's an improper use of an objection. What you want to say is, I disagree with that, which is fine. That's why you appeal it to the circuit court. But it's not an objection. What's your legal objection to my ruling? That's not a legal objection to a ruling. That's not a legal objection. So that's 2 motions down. The next one is motion for relief from judgment. I'm assuming that's Judge Martin's decision to set aside your defaults. All right. Do you really want me to grant that motion? Because if I grant your motion, that means the default that was set aside, defaults that were set aside are reinstated. Is that really what you want today?
Well, listen,
Mr. Crucell, yes or no? You filed a motion asking me to set aside a decision that was made. Do you really want me to set that decision aside? Because that means those civil infractions are then in default and they're done. Is that a yes or no? Yes or no?
Here's what's fascinating. Sovereign citizens often believe courts only have authority through consent. But legally, that's nonsense. Jurisdiction isn't optional. It's defined by law. The judge subtly explains this while keeping total composure. That's the real masterclass here. It's not just a courtroom. It's a classroom. And this defendant? He's the lesson.
Do you want me to set aside those default, do you want me to set aside the default set-asides? Do you want me to reinstate those default judgments? Then I'll deny that motion. All right. You filed something called Notice of Constitutional Rights, which I didn't see anything where it required me to make any decisions or anything else. You're just letting me know that you're standing on the Constitution? So am I. All right. The emergency stay we dealt with. You also file an affidavit of non-consent. You didn't need to file paperwork for me to know you didn't consent with the proceedings, but I got the message there. Was that the only message I was supposed to get out of that document?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Prosecutor.
Okay. I don't need a preachy moment. I just want to make sure I wasn't supposed to get anything else out of that affidavit other than you don't like the process that we're involved in. Next thing I had on my list was affidavit of non-consent. Oh, excuse me. Motion for judicial notice. What does that judicial notice of what?
Certain terms that this prosecutor keeps trying to use and apply in this case that are not the lawful terminology being used. Okay.
For example.
You use motor vehicle.
Okay. Motor vehicles pretty much a term of art in our business.
Law differences between how it's being used. Absolutely.
Well, then you can make those arguments. But you can't tell her she can't use that phrase.
You can feel it boiling over. The defendant interrupts again, louder this time, throwing in wild accusations. The judge simply leans back. No yelling, no reaction, just pure control. That silence? That's the most powerful moment of all. Silence in a courtroom can crush arrogance faster than shouting ever could.
Yeah, but I'm not the trier of fact. So if you want to make an argument to the jury that her use of the term motor vehicle is improper, you can make that argument. Is that what you're concerned about? Is you're not going to be able to make the argument?
Yes.
Get what stuff on the record?
Filings.
Well, I can guarantee you're not getting all these filings on the record because the jury has no reason to know about all your motions.
All of this has to go. Everything that's taking place.
No.
Exactly.
No, that's not the way it works, Mr. Cassell.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
No, Mr. Cassell. All right, listen, brother, listen. You don't get to tell me what my job is. I've been doing it for 25 years. Listen. Well, then that's why they have appellate courts for the fourth or fifth time. I decide what this jury gets to see today. I decide. That is, by definition, the role of the judge at a jury trial. I get to decide what goes in front of that jury. If you don't like the decisions I make, you appeal those decisions. That's the way it works. What this jury has to decide today is whether or not you violated the township ordinance on that date. Hold on. None of these legal arguments about whether or not I should recuse myself or whether or not you notice me up for constitutional rights, none of that has to go to that jury. And none of it's going to.
And that's why they should have tried in my emergency motion to stop this.
I already ruled on that.
Certain back acknowledge my motions for my next travel. Nothing to do.
Once again, I'm not trying to, I'm doing my function as a gatekeeper for a jury trial. I'm deciding what's relevant and what's not. And you can disagree with me that all day long. But we're going to do it, once again, we're going to do it my way. You can appeal me. I've been appealed before. I'll probably be appealed before I retire again. It's okay. That's the way the process is set up. I encourage you to appeal me. All right. I am open-minded enough to think that perhaps my mindset about.
At this stage, even the bailiff's side eye says it all. The judge gives one last warning, making it crystal clear: respect the court or leave it. The entire room holds its breath. And you know what? That's exactly how a real judge commands order. Not through anger, but through presence.
Your whole travel thing, maybe that's all wrong. So a circuit court judge can tell me I'm wrong. But so far, And I've ruled this way a number of times on the traveling issue. Nobody's ever appealed me to lead to a circuit court judge to tell me I'm wrong. But I'm open to that idea.
I mean, I've said, well, you just keep, each judge has done the same thing. They just keep setting it aside. It's acting like it doesn't even exist, not allowing me to make my case, which is violating my rights to be able to produce my case in my head.
What's your case that traveling doesn't mean operating?
I'm accepting the fact that this court's violated my due process rights in every way, the judicial bias and the fact.
All right, then appeal me. But today we're having a jury trial.
Participating in an unlawful jury trial, and I think that weighty statement I need to get on the
All
record.
right, but hold on a minute. Once again, I want to know what that means. You're not participating.
Not participate in a jury in a trial where there is clear bias in this court against it.
Okay.
It violates my rights to a fair trial. 100%. And you want to keep overlooking. No, I know that makes you seem like they're not a big deal, and
No, your rights are a really big deal.
obviously not, because if you can sit there and say that the things that are happening, the things you're saying, and just try to give these excuses, oh, just because I agree on this, you are aligning yourself with the prosecutor on my right to trial, completely setting aside, not allowing me.
Mr. Purcell, no, I'm not. Listen to me. No, it's not. Listen to me. Listen to me. She could step out of the room, and I still think your travel argument is bullshit. Traveling, the right to travel was when you.
Here comes the best part, the moment of realization. Watch the defendant's expression shift when he realizes the judge isn't backing down. That flash of uh-oh in his eyes, priceless. It's the second he realizes YouTube law can't save him now. You can't fake that kind of humility. It's forced by reality.
Appeal me. When you're driving a motorized vehicle or traveling in a motorized vehicle, that brings all those ordinances into play. That's my legal ruling. Appeal it. I encourage you to do that. But that whole traveling argument, which, dude, I've been through that argument a whole lot more than you have. Trust me, in the last 25 years, I've had that argument a lot. Traveling as you try to apply it meant you could not be stopped by the government from walking from one venue to another. But when we got motorized, then the rules kicked in.
Court rulings from the American jurisprudence side that literally state that yes, first of all, you're allowed, and including automobiles, as long as one does not interfere with another's rights. And this has been something that's been established to be secure.
Then appeal me. Take that precedent and appeal me.
As well.
Okay, that's your right. I'm not trying to stop you from doing any of that stuff. I'm just trying to stop you from bogging down this jury with stuff that I've determined is not appropriate today.
Because just because you're determining it based off of what though? That's what I'm saying. All these things are relevant and they are accurate.
They're relevant to you. They're not relevant to me. I've made the decision. I have made the decision. I made that decision months ago and you didn't appeal that.
I mean, the process we're kind of.
Which is not an appeal.
Is an extreme, lawyer, but there's bullshit that you can't do that.
Absolutely, I do that.
100%.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me. If I don't hold you to the same standard I hold her to, then I'm treating you differently than her. How is that unbiased and impartial?
Now the judge outlines the punishment, methodically and professionally. No emotion, no ego, just justice. This is why courtroom fans love moments like these. It's the sound of accountability catching up. Actions meet consequences, and the message is loud and clear. Respect the system or face the fallout.
You've decided to engage yourself in this venue, in this arena. That means you got to know the jury structure. Yes, you didn't have to do it as an untrained layperson. You had free access to qualified, competent legal counsel. They're still here. There's one right there behind you. He's still ready to help you. You chose to do this yourself. That means you've got to know the court rules. You've got to know the statutes and the ordinances. You've got to know the rules of evidence. And if I help you through those lapses in your knowledge base, that's not fair to the prosecutor. Then I'm taking sides. And now I'm not going to let her walk all over you and try to trick you because you don't know some of those rules and statutes. But I am absolutely going to require you to know what you're doing because you've chosen to do it. That doesn't show bias. That shows impartiality.
There is no partial anything. I have the.
Once again, Mr. Crucell, that's your opinion. No, it's your interpretation of the facts. So you have to appeal my decisions. And look, dude, the fact that you're not in a jail cell right now shows how impartial I am.
When Officer Price literally pulled up to me my weather days before any of this even happened and talked to us about the travel, even told me I was well within my rights, gave me every clarification that I was well within my lawful rights. This was all a retaliatory thing from the beginning. And then even when the chief called me. He even called me trying to overrate. I was like, what's that overrate? And then he goes towards the motor vehicle. And then he tries to get me to not pursue legal matters. And then he's mad at me. And then the day that I file for my body cam, I'm getting removed from here on a Little League.
And none of,
The courtroom finally quiets down. The energy shifts from chaos to clarity. Even the defendant looks smaller, not physically, but emotionally. That's what accountability does. It humbles. You can sense everyone processing what just happened, and that's when the real lesson hits. Authority isn't about power, it's about order.
stop. Hold on. I don't doubt that it is. But I think we got into this a little bit the first time you were here, and I told you that's not proper for this venue. If you want to complain about the way the Huron Township Police Department handled this, you can file a civil lawsuit against them if you want to. But what's in front of me is one civil infraction and 2 misdemeanors. That's what's in front of me.
Oh, and every time I force it to make my case, the courts keep setting all my stuff and not allowing me to be heard.
Because I'm going to make decisions based on the facts. That jury hopefully is going to make decisions based on the facts that are presented.
How will there be facts if this court continues to not allow me to get my facts?
Because the facts you want to get into, what facts do you want to get into? The chief had some conversation with you?
It's not even just that. I mean, well, yeah, regardless, I have all of that to cover too. The fact that my defense, based off what I was doing, I don't have to produce any of that. It just keeps all just thrown aside. Every single bit, and just not even trying to acknowledge any of it.
So hold on. I don't understand. Hold on. You want to be able to testify to this jury?
No, it's not. I'm not testifying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't feel I have bias.
Well, I don't feel that I would have a fair trial here with everything that's been taking place. Why I filed policy? Why did we?
And I've denied all these things.
Well, of course you can deny it. Again, showing them again that this.
Once again, Mr. Cruzel, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I'm biased against you.
As the session wraps up, the judge offers a surprisingly calm closing. No yelling, no anger, just wisdom. He reminds the courtroom that laws exist to protect everyone, not to trap anyone. It's poetic, really. The same man who was shouting minutes ago now sits silent. That's transformation through truth.
Maybe I just think you're wrong. Is it possible we could have a difference of opinion?
Tina Green told me that she was just not acknowledging myself because the Secretary of State will make sure that this isn't a big deal. Right? Showing
I'm not going to.
It's no impartial sport here.
I've never brought a Secretary of State, have I?
So this is where this all stems from. These are the things I've been trying to get noticed. This and talked about this.
What do you want getting noticed that we're not getting noticed?
The fact that this is collusion and judicial bias.
It is not collusion. What? All right, listen. What are you going to do today? Because I'm ready to bring the jury, and I've denied all. Stop! I've denied all your motions. I'm ready to set the trial. Are you not going to be here?
Again, Your Honor, hasn't established nothing is even put in here, right? And especially regarding the jurisdiction stuff.
Once again, we're at $300 now. We're going to 4. I'm going to ask you the question again. I'm ready to call the jury. Are you going to leave?
There's no way there can be a fair trial here.
That didn't answer my question. I need to know how I'm going to proceed, because we can have the trial if you just sit there. I'll just tell the jury you've decided to represent yourself and you might not say anything today. So that's the way you want to go with the trial.
I do. So these against that.
Okay.
Everything is on.
Okay. Okay. No, let's on the record as you feel they should be.
I brought the sites that I left the sites at home and bring up the person's jurisdiction.
And hold on. Once again, I want to because he just walked in the room. Once again, I want to let you know there's a very competent, experienced legal attorney here, defense attorney here, that's more than willing to help you with this if you want his help.
Well, the sport actually was supposed to be.
And that ain't gonna happen.
Anybody showing you were supposed to reduce yourself. It's in the book.
And I don't think I've shown bias. That's what we keep. Once again, you and I disagree. That's okay. That's America. You have to appeal me. You don't just you don't get to argue the same thing over and over and over until I agree with you. That's not going to happen. I know I am not biased towards you. I also know that your ideas of how the law applies in mine are vastly different. But because I'm in the black robe and I'm in charge of this trial today, my ruling stands until a circuit court judge or some higher court tells me I'm wrong. That's just the reality of it.
That's what I have to do, because clearly this court's not gonna rule it the way it's supposed to. Not gonna stand by your
It's not by your definition, I'm not.
Between Secretary of State and Attorney General and sent to you. I've never heard anything. We can go through lawfully conceded it. You can say that again, it's been proven on the record.
No, it doesn't need to be proven on the record. Show me a statute or a court rule in Michigan that says I got to prove that. Statute, Michigan statute or Michigan court rule says I've got to do that.
You know, I have it in there. My father's in smoking.
So you're such a great legal scholar.
MCL 168.420 and MCL 168.467 mandates that the judge must file.
What a ride. From arrogance to accountability, this case had it all. If you learned something, or just enjoyed watching justice in action, hit that subscribe button, drop A in the comments, and share this with someone who needs to see what real courtroom authority looks like. Until next time, I'm your host from Talking Judge. And remember, respect the court, or the court will teach you respect.